All right, now we go on and we've got questions like list of headings, which is good. You should learn how to do list of headings. In academic reading, you will see list of headings in part 1, 2 or 3. But in general training reading, list of headings comes in part 3 only, right? Method is same, process is same. So you can see questions 14 to 20, we have list of headings. But first of all, we will read the title of the passage. What's the title? The title is The Steam Car. Now we are talking about battery car, right? They are talking about steam car, success and failure of the Double brothers and their steam car. So it means they are going to talk about a steam car in the past, right? So the whole passage is about steam car and how it was made. Okay, now we go on and we see what are the next questions. Questions 21 to 23, multiple choice questions. They are also type A. Type A means questions and their answers, they are in order. Questions 24 to 26, summary completion. Huh?
What about 14 to 20?
I'll come to that later. Questions 24 to 26, we've got summary completion. So where should we start from? We should start from summary completion, then you can do multiple choice questions, and finally you can do list of headings. This is the best approach. But if your skimming is good, your skimming speed is good, you can skim the paragraph quickly, you may start with list of headings and then you can come to the next questions. But remember, if you do it raw-mindedly means you are not familiar with the passage and you start with list of headings. So there are 2, 4, 6, 7 questions. What does it mean? You have to read 7 paragraphs to answer that, okay? So it's a good idea to do other questions and manage your time, and then you know how much time is left and then you can do that quickly. Otherwise, list of headings will eat all your time. Now, let's see. We've got complete the summary below, choose one word and or a number. So answer may contain word, number or both. The Model E. Okay, now they're going to talk about a car. The Model E was road tested in 1924. Look for Model E in 1924. Good. Paragraph G. We see Model E in 1924, and the good news is all the answer you will find here. Okay, all the answers will be here. Number 1, number 2, they will be in order, so you can find the answers easily. Now let's read question number 24. I'm reading it from second line. They found it easy to drive despite its weight, and it impressed the spectators. A later version of the Model E raised its dash. Now listen, later version of Model E raised something. Now what is it that it raised? So we'll just find that. Okay, a second please. All right, so the later version raised something. So we go back. Please follow me. We may see this 1924 in paragraph F as well. So please come back to paragraph F and we are going to see the later version of the car. Okay, I'm reading paragraph F. There they talk about 1924, Double brothers and all that. Please come to fourth last line of paragraph F. Paragraph F, fourth last line. As they drove the test vehicle further, they found that its evenly distributed weight lent it surprisingly good handling, even though it was so heavy. As the new double steamer was further developed, now this is the next model, right? Further developed and tested, its maximum speed was pushed to over 100 miles. What was improved? Maximum speed was pushed to over 100 miles per hour. What's the question? A later version of Model E raised its speed. And what is the word for raised? Pushed. Speed was raised, speed was pushed to over 100 miles. So correct answer is speed. Question number 25. The steam car was too expensive for many people and its design was constantly being altered. Under dash cars were produced before the company went out of business. Answer is going to be a number. Under, the synonym of under will give you the answer. Under dash cars. Same paragraph. Paragraph G, fourth line. The time. Okay, I'm reading it from third line. Model ES were quite the same because Ebner Doblet twinkled endlessly with the design. By the time the company folded means company finished, in 1931, fewer than 50 of the amazing Model E steam cars had been produced. Fewer than means under. And what is the answer? 50. Now keep it in your mind, fewer than and under, they are synonyms. Correct answer is 50. Good. All right. Now let's go on. We've got question number 26 and we're going to read it from fourth last line. However, even today, there are Model ES on the road in the US. They are straightforward to maintain and they satisfy California's dash emission laws. Now, what are the laws? California's dash emission laws. Emission law is like your cars are not allowed, they are not allowed to emit carbon. So, let's see, California today, found it? Yes. All right, I'm reading this line from a line above. Astonishingly. Have you found it? Yes. Now I'm reading from there. Okay, paragraph G, sixth last line. Astonishingly, an unmodified double model E runs clean enough to pass the emission laws in California today. And they are pretty strict. What is pretty strict? Laws. Laws are pretty strict. What's the question? Model ES on the road in the US, they are straightforward to maintain as they satisfy California's dash emission laws, strict emission laws. And for that they said they are strict. They are strict means laws are strict. So correct answer for question number 26 is strict. Now, let's go on. Questions 21 to 23, multiple choice questions. Remember, for multiple choice questions, it's a good idea to read the question only, then scan the passage and see where the relevant information is. Once you find that passage, try to find the answer to the question in the passage and then come back to the options and match that sentence with option A, B, C, D, and the right answer will click you. Okay, let's do it together. Question number 21. What point does the writer make about the steam car in paragraph B? Now the subject is steam car, writer's point in paragraph B. Everyone, please come to paragraph B. I'm going to read it from the beginning. Okay. But the glory days of steam cars were few. Glory days were few. A new technology called the internal combustion engine soon appeared, which offered the ability to drive. So what happened? Glory days of steam cars were few. Keep this in mind. Glory days of steam car were few. Option A, its success. Success means glory days. Was short-lived. Short-lived means few. So right answer is option A. But we will read other options as well. Option B, not enough cars were made. They didn't mention that. Option C, car companies found them hard to sell. It was not mentioned. Option D, people found them hard to drive. So, glory days of steam cars were few, that is, success was short-lived. Now, these are the synonyms. Glory days were few and success was short-lived. A will be the right answer. Question number 22. When building their first steam car, the Double brothers. Now, clue word is first steam car. What is it that they did? Okay, paragraph C. Paragraph C and 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth line. Though it did not run well, the Double brothers went on to build a second and third prototype in the following years. Prototype is a design, the first design of something. So they build second design, third design. Though the Double boys' third prototype, nicknamed the Model B, still lacked the convenience of an internal combustion engine, it drew the attention of automobile trade magazines due to its numerous improvements over previous steam cars. Now let's go back. We just see what the question is. When building their first steam car, the Double brothers, they made this, just focus this line, their second and third prototype in the following years. Now let's come back. Option A, constructed all the parts themselves. Have they talked about spare parts of the car, or they constructed all themselves or not? No. Option B, made written notes at each stage of the construction? No, not mentioned. Option C, needed several attempts to achieve a competitive model? Yes, prototypes. Several attempts means they made prototypes. It's mentioned here very clearly. Double brothers went on to build the second and the third prototype. Second and third prototype means several attempts, exactly. So several attempts to achieve a competitive model. C will be the right answer. Option D, sought the advice of experienced people in the car industry, not mentioned. Now we've got question number 23. In order to produce the Model C, the Double brothers. Now what is it that Double brothers do to produce the Model C? Now look for Model C. Paragraph D. Okay, so let's start it from, we just read it from the beginning. The following year, Abner Double drove the Model B from Massachusetts to Detroit in order to seek investment in his automobile design, which he used to open. Okay, next line. He and his brothers immediately began working on the Model C, which was intended to expand upon the innovation of the Model B. The brothers added features such as a key-based ignition in the cabin, eliminating the need for the operator to manually ignite the boiler. Okay, so they made some improvements like that. Now please come back. And what's the question? The question is, in order to produce Model C, what is it that they did? They traveled to Detroit, right? And they made some changes in the car. Option A, moved production to a different city. No. They talked about Detroit, but they did not talk about moving production to a different city. Option B, raised financial capital. No. Option C, employed an additional worker. No, they removed that additional worker. Option D, abandoned their earlier designs. No. No. So there is no right answer here. All four are wrong. Correct answer is option B. Raised financial capital. Please come back. Raised financial capital. Paragraph D for doctor. I'm reading it from third line. He and his brothers immediately began working on Model C, which was intended to expand upon the innovations of the Model B. The brothers added features such as, the answer is the second line. The following year, Abner Double drove the Model B from Massachusetts to Detroit in order to seek investment. In order to seek investment in his automobile design, and that design was Model C. So in order to seek investment, investment means capital. Seek investment means raised financial capital. B is the right answer for that. Okay, good. So this time we are going to go through list of headings, and we see how to do that. Remember, for list of headings, the type of reading that you need, it is called skimming. You have to skim read the paragraph very quickly. But before you skim read the paragraph, it is very important that you read and interpret the headings. Very important point. Read and interpret. Interpret means when you read the heading, you should know what type of information is required to put that heading. For that, I advise you all to read the headings first and then you can skim read the passage. Now please come to list of headings, right? Passage 2, list of headings. Heading number 1, period in cold conditions before the technology is assessed. Period in cold conditions. Cold condition is snow, winter, minus something and all that. Okay, period in cold conditions before the technology is assessed. Heading number 2, marketing issues leads to failure. Now failure because of marketing issues. They were unable to market it properly and then they were unsuccessful. Heading number 3, good and bad aspects of STEAM technology are passed on. In one paragraph, they will talk about good and bad aspects of STEAM technology which are passed on. Heading number 4, possible solution to issue of today. Now, solution to issue of today. In one paragraph, they will talk about currently, today, these days. Heading number 5, further improvements lead to commercial orders. They did some improvements and then they got commercial orders that people wanted to buy their cars or things like that. Heading number 6, positive publicity at last for this quiet, clean, fast vehicle. Now, in one paragraph, they will talk about positive publicity. People liked it because the car was quiet. Quiet means without noise, clean and fast. Heading number 7, disappointing outcome for customers. Like customers bought the car and then it was very bad. So, disappointing outcome for customers. And heading number 8, better option than steam car arises. Now, there was, like they mentioned, internal combustion engine. So there was another technology and that was better option than steam car and all that. Okay, now whenever you do list of headings, it's a good idea to start from the shortest paragraph given. Why? Because if you started from the shortest paragraph, it's easier for you to do that. Okay, so don't just follow the order. Now which paragraph is the shortest one? E. Please come to paragraph E. Later that year, Abner Doble delivered unhappy news to those eagerly waiting. Unhappy news to those who are waiting means customers. And unhappy news means something disappointing. Unhappy news, those eagerly waiting the delivery of their modern new cars. Those buyers who received a handful of completed cars complained. What does it mean? Customers were unhappy, disappointed. Which heading is that? 7, a disappointing outcome for customers. So, question number 18, answer is 7. And now you should cross number 18 also. Got it? Okay. So, which paragraph now? B, exactly. Everyone, please come to paragraph B. They say glory days of steam cars were few. A new technology. Glory days were few and new technology means instead of steam cars, there was a new technology. Heading number 8. Better option than steam car arises. Well done. Better option than steam car arises. So heading number 8 is the right answer for question number 15. Question number 15 is paragraph B. Okay. So we are done with 2 paragraphs, that is E and B. Now where should we go? Okay. We go to paragraph A. We've read it already. So please come to paragraph A. I'm reading it from the beginning. When primitive automobiles first began to appear in 1800s, their engines were based on steam power. Steam had already enjoyed a long and successful career in the railways, so it was only natural that the technology evolved into miniaturized version of which was separate from the trains. But these early cars inherited steam's weakness along with its strengths. Weakness and strengths. Now see, weakness and strengths, and then they talk about that. Weakness and strength means good and bad aspects of steam technology. Heading number 3 is the right answer for question number 14. Okay, well done. That's good. Question number 14, correct answer is heading number 3. And you should cross question number 14 as well. Okay, now which paragraph? F? Alright, please come to paragraph F. The brothers made one final attempt to produce a viable steam automobile. So they are talking about their final attempt. In early 1924, the Double brothers shipped a Model E to New York City to be road tested by the Automobile Club of America after sitting overnight in freezing temperature. Freezing temperature. So freezing temperature is a period in cold conditions. Well done. See that? Freezing temperature and period in cold condition. Question number 19. Right answer is heading number 1 and cross 19 as well. Okay. So which paragraph should we do now? Paragraph? D for doctor. Okay, please come to paragraph D. Everyone? The following year, Abner Doble drove the Model B from Massachusetts. We read about it. So what we've read already, we can skip that. Okay. He and his brother immediately began working on Model C. Alright. So they're talking about Model C, which was intended to expand upon the innovations of Model B. The brothers added features such as key-based ignition, elimination need to operate manually. With these enhancements, the Doble's new cars company promised a steam vehicle which would provide all the convenience of a gasoline car, but with much greater speed, much simpler driving controls, and a virtually silent power plant. Silent power plant, simpler driving controls, and better speed. So, it's heading number 6. Positive publicity at last for this quiet, clean, fast vehicle. No, they are. Let's just go back and see. Let's just read on there. Ignition, okay, with the enhancements, driving controls. By the following April, the General Engineering Company had received 5,390 deposits for Doble's Detroits, which were scheduled for delivery in early 1918. Heading number 5, if you read this sentence, the last part, they said by the following April, General Engineering Company had received 5,390 deposits, means order of 5,390 cars. Okay, so what is that? Further improvements lead to commercial orders. And what was that commercial order? 5,300 and all that. So heading number 5 is the right answer for question number 17. Now we are left with paragraph C and paragraph G. Please come to paragraph C. Paragraph C, we already read some part to answer question number 22. So please come to 5th last line. Paragraph C, 5th last line. Model B proved to be superior to gasoline automobiles in many ways. Its high pressure steam drove the engine pistons in virtual silence, in contrast to clattering gas engine which emitted the aroma of burned hydrocarbons. Perhaps most impressively, Model B was amazingly swift. Now silence, swift, it could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 15 seconds, a feat described as remarkably acceleration by Automobile magazine. So it came in the magazine, they improved the speed and all that. Heading number 6, positive publicity. Now what is positive publicity? That is, it came in Automobile magazine. And what was the publicity? Remarkable acceleration. Remarkable acceleration by Automobile magazine. So that is positive publicity at last for this quiet, clean, fast vehicle. What is the word for quiet? Silence, virtual silence. What is the word for clean? Emitted the aroma of burned hydrocarbons. Yes, swift is for fast. So find a word for clean. Its high pressure steam drove the engine and pistons in contrast to clattering gas engine which emitted aroma. Okay, so in contrast means it did not give any aroma, right? Okay. Now what are we left with? Paragraph G. Okay, let's go on and we do paragraph G. Sadly, Dubel's brilliant steam car never was a financial success. Priced at around 1800,000 in 1924, it was popular only among the very wealthy. Plus, it is said that no two model ES were quite the same because Abner Dobel twinkled endlessly with the design. By the time the company folded in 1931, fewer than 50, we read it already. Okay, now please come to the middle of the paragraph, paragraph G. Given the evidence, he may have been right. Many of the Model E Dobels which have survived are still in good working condition, some having been driven over 500,000 miles with only normal maintenance. Astonishingly, an unmodified double Model E runs clean enough to pass the emission laws in California today. Now, anything which is related to today. Heading number 4, a possible solution to the issue of today. Now, what is the issue of today? Pollution. And what is the solution? Steam engine, steam cars, because steam cars do not emit anything other than steam, and steam is harmless. Okay, so heading number 4 is the right answer for paragraph G. Well done.